Okay, guys, good morning to all. Thank you for coming to our speaker series. My name is Amanda Baldoni, and I am the Community Administrator for the Community and Summer Education Department at Quinn Park. Today, our speaker is Paul Fantaski, and we are so excited. He's going to take over from here. Just a heads up, we will be recording this meeting. Um, you guys have been with us for almost all of this, so you guys know the drill. So, all right, you can start, Paul.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Can you all hear me? You could give me the thumbs up. Perfect. All right. Very good, guys. Okay. I'm gonna what I did for you today is in a PowerPoint. So I'm just gonna show you guys the PowerPoint. And at the very, very end, if you send me your email address, I would gladly send you this PowerPoint so that you may use it yourself with your kiddos, and hopefully find something in here that might improve your books a little bit. Um, I was asked to do something on how to implement theme in your book. And I took a little bit different approach on this. I'm going to do it from a graphical design standpoint, specifically set up from your cover. So I will just go ahead and get started. Can you all see my screen good? Awesome. Okay. I'm going to be silent here for a couple slides, and I think you'll see why. I promise you can do it. Okay. I sort of figured out that I was going to go ahead and start out by showing you guys some themes that I have come across lately. I think it might spark some interest in you. I belong to a bunch of yearbook forums, and plus I know a lot of advisors. And with their permission, I got a list going here for you. So you could take a look at these. I'll just read through them for you. Back on track, normal. Boy, the word normal is just coming up all over the place for this year, and I think that's obvious, and we know why. What is normal next to normal? Following. Now what? In this together. Boy, that's something that we've heard since March 13th, Friday, the worst Friday the 13th that of my lifetime, that's for sure. Branching out, separately together, new perspectives. Of this, we are certain. Make it matter. What happens now? The struggle, a new take. Here and now, as it unfolds, finding our way on the bright side, more than this, shift, and 6 feet away. I'm kind of intrigued with 6 feet away. It's just like very, very now and current. So I just wanted to give you guys, some ideas of what everybody else is doing for the upcoming year. And like I said, these are some different themes that I've seen. This was like a late add to my show for you. I was originally going to start with this. You should really go conversational. Conversational text is super, super in right now. Nothing too deep, especially for this year. I'll be honest, before the coronavirus hit, Kiski's theme for next year, I'm actually a math teacher at Kiski Area High School, and I did the yearbook there for 17 years. I'm sort of their mentor now. Our theme for next year was going to be lowercase THE period, END period. We were going to do the end as our theme. Well, obviously that's not appropriate now, so we're all kind of shifting gears. We're going to sort of put that one on the back burner and use it sometime in the future. But I'll tell you, conversational themes are super in. So what I did was I searched the internet through some yearbook, through all the yearbook companies and NSPA, PSPA, CSPA, JEA, and tried to find the yearbook covers that exemplify this. And most of them were conversational. So I just want to show you guys some ideas here for you. Like this one. This is actually a junior high school. Super, super impressed with this. The theme is It's Bigger Than Us. That would definitely be appropriate for the upcoming year as well. And we'll talk about the graphics on all this a little bit later. But it's bigger than us, very conversational. Tell me about it. Really super conversational. It's a little. I love this cover, number one, and it just intrigues me. It's a little what, you know, and of course, open up the book and you'll find out. So I was super impressed with that as well, from Burgess High School in El Paso, Texas. It's the only way we know. There's another conversational theme. It all depends. And, you know, take a look at the school here, guys. Our hearts go out to them, that's for sure. I kind of like the idea that they printed 3 colors for their book. We yearbook advisors know that that can get kind of expensive though. So, you know, if you're going to do a 3-color print for different colors for your cover, my suggestion would be do it in the right year, because you're going to be spending a lot of money on doing something like that. Make sure it fits the theme. It all depends. I think it works perfectly here because it all depends. It could be yellow, it could be blue, it could be pink, or if you want to call that red. So make sure the theme fits that if you're going to use multicolored covers. To be honest, that's something that I probably said 2 or 3 times already, you know, in just this short time we've been together. You want to be us. Very conversational. Love the motif that they used for this. We're actually going to get into this a little bit more. So I'll stop talking about that one, but that's a really, really good one. Note to self. I think that's kind of cool. I want to open this book. I love the artwork on here. The past 3 or 4 years, I've been a super, super fan of incorporating a lot of artwork into the book. I think this works super, super well. So there's that. Very conversational. I think that's kind of cool. We'll examine that book in a little bit as well. And before we get into actually looking at some examples from all over the country, I just want to throw you guys a couple pieces of advice. I am telling you hugely that fonts matter, and I'm sure you guys realize that. So I'm going to show you something. Take a look and read that for me, or read it to yourself. I'm telling you, fonts matter. It's supposed to say cat suit, and it includes a cat suit. But as I read it, it just doesn't read as cat suit to me. So bad marketing, in my opinion. Make sure you pick fonts that go together. And on that note, I'm going to show you guys this next section. I'm actually going to pull from another presentation that I did. I think this might have been last year at Slippery Rock. So let's take a look at this. And this is sort of talking about fonts. And again, this actually is the headline font for a story, but it very well could be the cover of your book. It could be the 2 fonts that you've chosen. I want you guys to just look at those 2 fonts and see if in your head you can come up with one word on how the mixture, the blend of those 2 fonts makes you feel. Because I'm going to try to change your feeling by changing the fonts. That's kind of the deal here. So get a word in your mind. And this is a great activity to do with your kids to show them how powerful the fonts are. When I looked at this, my thoughts are classic. That's actually the word that I came up with, maybe with a little grunge to it. That's the word I thought of. I don't know, can we get the words that you guys were thinking of? I know Kate's there, Aaron's there, Andrew's there. How do we do that, Summer?
We can all use the chat feature or unmute ourselves.
Okay, there's only a couple of us here. I think it's fine that way.
Mine was like trendy. It feels like it's very modern font right now. Like that's being used a lot. So that's what came to my mind.
This font, the orange font is actually hand Times. It was created to go along with Times New Roman, but on a grunge level. And then the funny thing is the font down below is called Jellica St. Andrew's Queen. It's probably my favorite font of all time, but I will tell you the capital letters in that font are horrible. They are so like elaborate and loopy. So we actually did use this font a couple years ago. but we did not use the capital letters. Anyone else want to chime in?
I like the contrast between well, the colors go well together, but I like the contrast between like the size, but also the styles of fonts. So like I always like to see like if you're going to do two different fonts, like that they're not both serif fonts or sans serif font. Like I like the script of the handwriting, and then the, you know, so like there's just so much like contrast in so many different ways between the two that like it just really pops.
Yeah, I agree with you, Aaron.
Andrew said that it reminds him of a food magazine.
Oh, okay. I can see that. Actually, yeah, that's right. Okay, I've got like maybe 6 or 7 of these. So let's go ahead and get through the next one. Now, I'm going to change how you feel. Again, think of a word. I'm watching. It's so funny. I have all your faces up here. You should have seen your eyebrows. Go ahead, anyone, give me a word. How does this make you feel?
Reminds me of like Atari or something, like some old school
Oh,
video
yeah.
game. But it's also
I can
kind of
see
hard to
that.
read very like at quick glance. You got to like look at it for a second to read that first word.
Right.
Yeah, going off of Aaron, I'd say overwhelmed. It's a little, it's too much for my eyes to kind of fully digest.
I agree.
Tense.
Tense. That's funny because my word was confused. I mean, that's the word that I had in mind whenever I put those two on there. Okay, let's go and look at the next one.
Kindergarten.
Sure. Yeah. Anybody else have a word that would reflect that?
Youth, young.
Mm-hmm.
I think there'd be a time and place for that.
Yep, I agree. Yeah, I think now this, like I said, I did this at Slippery Rock last year. I think the word I had for this one was grunge, or it might have been whimsical, something like that. Let's go ahead to the next one. Go ahead and chime in with your words whenever you can.
Boring.
Okay.
The contrast
Simple.
of color doesn't work there either. I don't think. Like it's too hard to read the two words together because the headline blue is too dark.
With the black.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the fonts could go together and just change the color a little.
Gotcha. I agree. The word that I had for this one was nautical. And if you look at the headline and the placement of the goes with the curvy line, it kind of reminds me of a shark. I don't know. When I look at that, I see a shark. So again, this is pretty powerful stuff. All right, my favorite one is coming up next. All right, there's this one. Somebody should get this right away.
Harry Potter.
Yeah, thank you. Absolutely. And again, you know, a tribute to their font, the font of Harry Potter. It's so recognizable. It makes you feel so many different emotions when you see a font like this. So the point of this whole exercise is to realize that you control all of those words that you thought of, and you control how people feel when they look at your book. And I think that's absolutely super, super powerful. Another piece of advice for you, when I'm looking at two fonts, I will always put them one on top of the other, and then I will reverse it. You want to make sure that those two fonts go together, like the block font on the bottom with the script on top, or the script on the bottom with the block on top. And just find the one that actually makes you feel like your theme's intention. Okay, I hope that makes sense to you. All right, let's go ahead and look next. All right, I want to, the best books right now give their headlines a lot of love, the headline designs. Now, like I said, in putting this together, I was sort of limited to all of what I can find online. Most of the time when you go online to look at a site, you're going to find their cover. Rarely, like a few times I did, and I think I found 14 schools, do you find the cover with like sample spreads with them. So I already had Kiski's PDFs from last year. Nobody has actually seen the book except John Bickle. He's my yearbook guy on PSPA. So I'm going to preview some things that what Kiski did, and that's like I said, where I teach, they really tried to prioritize giving the headlines a lot of love last year, building it from the cover design. So that's really the whole purpose of this section. So let's go ahead and take a look. On the left-hand side is the actual cover of the book. And I'll point out to you that what do we have going on here? We have a horizontal dotted line. We have a pair of circles. And then we sort of have a ghosted watercolor section on the right. And everything you see in all of these headlines was built upon those items that you see on the cover. So if you look at this here, their book this year started off with a calendar of the entire year's events. If you look, this particular event, can I move this? Yes, I can, good. I'm actually moving all of your faces because I couldn't see underneath it. Now I can. On the 16th, which I'm assuming was December, there was an art class held up in the art room that everybody could attend. And what they did was they mimicked, this is the piece that the kids had to draw. It was hanging ornaments. That's mimicked here in the headline design with the actual graphics from the cover. So I think that is like a super clever, subtle, and subtle is the key word here, way to implement your cover theme throughout the book. So we'll go ahead to the next one here. This is one of my favorite ones of all. I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with See You at the Pole. It's typically in September when all of the kids are welcome to come around the flagpole and pray in the morning. Well, if you look at this design, it mimics a flagpole. The story at the top, or the caption at the top, is actually would be the flag. Then you have your title, and then they use the graphic dotted line to simulate the pole of the flag. Again, that's like what I call giving your headlines and giving your design a little bit of love. Here's another one. What I like about this particular one, and this is nothing but a headline with the story and the dominant picture from the actual page. Look at the headline, Leaps and Bounds Forward. Now, the story behind this is that the Winter Guard did so well the previous year that they were actually bumped up a class because the distance between them and second place was too much. Look at the picture. The girls are in midair. This is called visual verbal. And as much as you can, this is really giving your headline some love. If you can, the headline should tie together the dominant picture and your story as best you can. Now, I'll tell you, it's difficult sometimes, but in this case, it super worked. You can't do it all the time, but in this case, it did. I also like that the subhead here falls inside the circle, which comes again from the graphic on the cover. Very subtle. You're not going to see a ton of circles in this book, but you're going to see a circle on every spread. You'll hardly notice it, and I think that's the key to putting together like a modern, elevated book without overdoing it. We do this every year. We have something called quick quotes. The name of that will change from year to year depending on the verbal theme. This one was just called quick quote. And basically, it's just like a space filler, a nice little place to put somebody's quote in the book. And you can see that subtle, very subtle in the background are the circles that come from the cover again. This one here, this is actually two different modules or sidebars that came from the same section. I think the spread was on heroes. And it says, you pick the bestest, worst Harry Potter villain. And then someone had the idea to use the dotted line to, again, simulate the lightning bolt on Harry's head. So I think it's this real subtle way to make it work. I got to move your faces again because you're over there now, and move over here. Move up there. Okay, this is actually used twice in the book. We had a module on pet pals, which basically they were looking for unusual pets. So that's what you see on the left. And then down here in the faculty section, Andrew, there's your college buddy, Sarah, right there. You can clearly see here that they actually took the graphic cover, graphic from the cover, and put it very subtly here, but then they created a cat out of it, and then they used that same cat without the circle again later on in the book. Again, very, very small, detailed ways to improve your book. Go ahead to the next one. I'm gonna move you over again. Okay, this title is That Grinds My Gears. So they took the graphic from the cover again and made interlocking gears. But again, the opacity of that is so light you hardly see it. It's almost like you don't see it the first time you look at it. I gotta move you again every time. All right, let's see. Small fish, big pond. Again, just very, very lightly, you sort of see the bubbles coming up out of the water. Next one, on target. It sort of simulates a target here. Now, this is a mod that they used a couple times in the book. It was in the sports section. And in this particular one, there's a volleyball net because it was all about lucky net touches and different things that happen with the net. But on the other sports section, you would have something else, you know, whatever the graphic is to represent the mod would go in the middle there. But I kind of like how it gives you that target, you know, like a scope almost. And it's nothing but using the graphics that are on the cover. Move you over again. On the down low, this is really, really cool. And this is actually kind of trendy. They used the graphic to imitate the word down there, obviously, okay? And then they very subtly put the pictures inside circles. Too often, I've seen so many circle books that there are circles everywhere. I mean, everywhere. They put everything in a circle. Don't do that. If you're going to pick to do a circle as a graphic, it's got to be as subtle as possible. Otherwise, it's too overwhelming. The male perspective, there's the symbol for male right there. Another way, easy way to give your headline some love. Then I just wanted to throw in what they did with the index. If you look at the index here, they let the graphic actually speak for itself in the headers of each section. Like you look at the A, there's the graphic, and the kids that gave the quote, they got pictures of, they're interacting with the graphic. So I'm going to go to the next slide, and it actually just, I pulled a bunch of them just to show you all the different ways that they interacted. Oh, that's so much better. I put you guys at the bottom. So you could take a look at that. It's so simple to do, guys. But you know, well, I guess a lot of it isn't simple. You sort of have to have your idea and the graphic done before you pose the kids, all right? And I will tell you, ironically, they finished all of these pictures. The last thing that they had to do was the index, and they did it on March 13th. So they had everything that we needed to finish the book the last day that we were in session in school. So we were one of the lucky ones, actually. Okay. So I hope that gives you some inspiration and shows you some different ways on how you can implement your graphics throughout the book. Another thing that we like to do is to don't forget your folio space. You want to make that folio space special. If you don't know where the folio is, that's down where the page numbers appear. So again, I just pulled this next section right out of another presentation. This was our 2013 book. The theme was blocked, sort of Brady Bunches. if you know who the Brady Bunch is, that was our inspiration for the cover here. And I'll show you what we did with the actual folios. Pull all three of them up at once. I had our woodshop guys, Dean, he's magnificent. He actually made us a wooden square and we painted it green. And then once the kid gave us a quote, we handed them the green, huge green square, and they could interact with that square however they wanted. And then we just took them into Photoshop and changed the colors. And that was a simple, simple way to give the folio space a little bit of design love. It worked great, actually. We actually, it's so funny, I taught at Slippery Rock, and it was Hemfield High School, loved it so much, and I had the green square with me because this is the year that I gave the presentation. And we actually handed them the green square that year, and they used it in their book as well. So we sort of shared the love there too. Okay, here's the 2014 book. The theme was Off the Edge. You can clearly see down here how the letters are going off the edge. That's what you want to happen. Here's what we did with our folios. We got 3 answers down near where the page numbers are, put 3 quotes, and then we overlapped and colorized the pictures. And that's to mimic down here on the left where you see the word edge. Now, I'll tell you, we had some inspiration for that, and I actually found it. This was a page that we actually found on Pinterest, and it actually sparked the entire theme. So I think you can see, you know, how this transferred to this quite easily. And then in 2015, our theme for the yearbook was blah, blah, blah. And I'll show you what we did with the folio spaces there. Just one quote here. Breaking Bad. I don't know if you guys are Breaking Bad fans. I am like a huge Breaking Bad fan. It was huge in 2015. So we titled the folio section Moments That Broke Blah. And we asked the kids to tell us something like the most bizarre thing or one of the most bizarre things that happens to them. Okay, this is a real quick one here. Don't overdo it with your theme graphics. All I did was I just pulled a spread out of this year's book. There we go. Whoops, I want to go back. This is how the spread would be created if we just left it alone. Opacity or opacity and transparency is your super friend here. This is too in your face, especially this purple block. So just want to show you the difference. If we turn the opacity down, and I'm a huge fan of this, even though these for park at your own risk, does your own look a different color than risk to you? It certainly does to me. And that's just a result of changing the opacity of them. We do that all the time, and it's so simple. You know, you can put one color on the book, on the spread if you want, but then change the opacity of some of them to let them pop. I just think it's much more effective, and it just tones it down so much so you can see faces instead. And that's truly the whole intent. All right, now, like I said, I went through online and I found 14 books that I liked. Now, these are award-winning books, I'll tell you. And each of them, you're going to see the cover, and then you're going to see 3 spreads. So this is going to be like a narrated learn by example approach. I'm going to tell you what I like, what I don't like. You can form your own opinions on it. I actually scored these myself as if I were judging them, simply so that I can put them in order from the lowest scoring of the best books to the highest scoring. So you're going to see my scores on this as well. And hopefully that'll let you get an insight into what I look for whenever we're going through judging. This is the first one that I have here. I'm going to go ahead and read this to you. I love the slant of this. I love the foil treatment on the word shift. I love the simplicity of it. I love the shift in the color tones throughout, like that red into the maroon into the foil. I even love how the spine is top heavy. Marcus is huge, high school is huge, and then there's less information down here. The imbalance of it, I absolutely love that. I will tell you the front is missing a few elements that have to go on yearbooks. And I think that might have enhanced its impact. But man, I super love this cover. And I gave the cover a 9.5. I gave the spread itself an 8.3. You'll see why. I'm going to go ahead and open this up. This is a very nice looking spread. From a difficulty standpoint, it's not so difficult. There's basically one dominant picture, one story, and 3 candidates. And then I guess you might be able to call this a mod. But it's a very simple mod. Does the spread look good? Absolutely. I think the spread looks great. That's why they got the recognition that they did. Another thing that I would change, this font to me right here, even though it's the font they used, it's a little hard to read for me. So I don't know if it's a case of just making it bigger. It's okay to let it overlap here if you want to, but anyway, those are some things that I liked about it. If I go to this one, I really like this as well. I like how they actually went out and got someone with a steering wheel, had the idea to fill the negative space here, because then there's her person in the mirror with different ways to express yourself. So I think it's just very well done. I don't know if you can see it or not. I think at Marcus High School, they need to work a little bit more on their photoshopping skills, because when they're extracting their items, they're not changing the background to pure white or actually removing the entire background. Do you guys see these subtle blocks, like subtle changes of gray? That's because they haven't truly extracted it. They haven't changed the background color of it. A lot of times when you extract, people leave the background color white. And that can happen if it's not pure white. So that's something that I noticed, but I love the design of the spread. Here's another one. From a difficulty standpoint, I think they stepped it up just a little bit here. There's more pictures on there. I love that they repeated the shift from the cover. There's the shift from the cover. I think it works super, super well. Okay. So again, that was Marcus High School. We'll go to the next one here. This one I gave an 8.4. If I take a look at the cover, what I wrote, I so wish that I could read all the gray text as it frames the white box. If you look around here, these are words created, and I just couldn't read it. I tried to make the cover as clear as I could. It just wasn't going to happen with the particular document that I found. I don't know if they're names, if they're quotes, but I'm certainly intrigued by it. I also love the central white box, and there's a break in the box here for the name of their book and the year. And I kind of love that the words are justified left. I think that's something that you can definitely play on inside the book. So let me move you guys up to the top so I can see what that was. Okay, I gave an 8.4 on this. And again, 8.4 is overall based on how I think they used the design inside the book based on difficulty and such. But the cover I liked. I gave it a 9.1. Let's go ahead and look forward here. Guys, back down. Okay, you can clearly see right here, they've got that white box inside these three. So they took the white box from the cover and subtly put it on this particular mod. I love that. It's subtle, it's not in your face, it's not a huge background color that is very distracting. I think that's very, very well done. From a difficulty standpoint, I don't think this spread is very difficult at all. If I go to the next one, again, here's your box, taken right from the cover. I think the placement of it is fantastic. I love the white space that goes on here. A little bit of an easy spread to complete, I think, but we certainly appreciate the story and the headline and the subheadline, that's for sure. They might want to give story credits to who wrote it. That's kind of important too. Incidentally, I think putting story credits on your story is the easiest way to improve the writing in your book, because up front you tell the kids, oh, by the way, your name's going beside it. I think that's really the easiest way to improve the writing in your book. Okay, and this one here, love this. Look how this beautiful white line just frames her face. Taken right from the cover. Simple. Very, very well done from Liberty Christian Academy. The next one is from Florida. It's a shame. This is my least favorite cover of all of them. I gave it an 8.0. I think I get the idea that they're going with cutouts here. I think it could have been done a little bit neater, with a little bit more interest, maybe a little bit more line art on it. Something to spice it up a little bit. And again, that's just how I feel. Someone else might feel completely different, and all justified. I gave them an 8.6 for inside the book. Let's go ahead and look. You can see that the degree of difficulty is increasing a little bit here. There's more pictures, there are more captions. There's a mod down here. Again, I think the fonts that they chose work really well against each other. I think I would have taken the word place and moved it over a couple spaces or apicas. It's too close to the picture for me. It's sort of invading the space of the picture. Or, the reverse, move place left and let it purposely invade. This almost seems like a mistake to me somehow. Here's the next one. Again, taking the cutouts right off the cover and putting them on a spread. I thought the cutouts were pretty well done. I think they could have grounded them a little. Now, when I look at her, she does seem to be grounded for me because this gray block goes behind her. And if you don't know what I mean by grounded, too often I see cutouts in yearbooks and they're just hovering with nothing to tie them to the spread. So, and I like how this girl is sitting or standing on the word school. That's the appropriate way to go ahead and ground your elements. And then this one here, take a look around. Again, a little bit more difficulty. They've got a mod in the lower left, they've got a mod down here, and they've got a mod up here. So with a higher difficulty, you get a higher score. That's how it works. Okay, I like the color choices here too. Let's go to the next one. So there's that. I love the angles that they created. The tilt in the text, like the "so" there is tilted. I think the size of the fonts are perfect. I love the contrast in these two sizes. I want a bit more design. I don't know what it would be to me. Maybe changing the opacity of this yellow to something a little lighter to make them a little bit different. A couple lines, something. I don't know. To me, it's just missing a little something, an extra zhuzh at the end. I gave the cover score a 9. I like the elements that they put on there. I think it sets themselves up very well to put graphic elements throughout the book. And I gave their overall score an 8.7. So we'll go ahead and look at this. Clearly, you can see the design impact here. It's taken straight from the cover. What I love is this "why did you" down here on the lower left. It's just tilted slightly. Very slightly. I think it just gives just a little bit of interest. So I really like that. Go to the next one. Again, there's the main element of from the cover. "It weighs" is tilted. "Preseason" is tilted. Love that. Very subtle use of what they did in the cover. And then there's this one. This school is pretty good with color. They know how to pull the color from the dominant picture and let it breathe throughout the entire spread. So I thought this was done as pretty well too. Okay, we'll go ahead to the next one. This is the one that we saw before. This is that junior high. I so love this. I love the stacked blocky text with a 90-degree tilt on bigger. What an easy way to be able to implement your graphic throughout the book than to just 90-degree turn one word. It gives you so many options throughout the book, and we've done that a lot of times throughout the years. I think the strips look great. I love how the strips both sort of draw my eye to the lower right. And for Pete's sake, this is a junior high. I love the color scheme of this. I think it's just very, very well done. I gave them a 9.2 for cover, and I gave them a 9.2 for the actual implementation of the theme and the spreads that I saw throughout the book. So we'll go to the first one. Whoops, there we go. How cool is this? There we go. I love this. The cutouts that they gave there, taken right from the cover. It's just a twist on those strips or those little, the little rectangles that they had on the cover. Blast to the past. I think that's just really, really, really well done. I love the bar graph here. I can clearly see that they implemented graphics from the cover throughout. Here's another one. This one's sort of, first of all, from a design standpoint, super, super well done. This school knows white space. There's the appropriate amount. Now your gutter would be here. That's the center of the book. Just the right amount of white space between all the elements. From a difficulty standpoint, look at all those captions. This is a junior high. Super, super impressed there. Go ahead to the next one. And again, you can clearly see how the cover actually drove this particular spread. All right, let's go to the next one. I love the layering of the pictures here and the ghosted background picture. Like this background picture and this picture here are ghosted. Ghosting means just changing the opacity. And I love that because if you have something at 60% opacity sitting on top of something with 60% opacity, you get that beautiful blend in the middle, and that works here. I love the treatment behind "to be honest" in white so that it's so much more readable. I actually love the theme idea too. So I gave the cover here a 9.1, and I gave the inside a 9.3. So let's go ahead and look. Simple. There's a lot that I like about this. It's okay. You don't have to use every single space of every single spread. This spread breathes to me. It's got like a lot of breath life to it. Notice how the word "confessions" goes off the edge of the page. I'm a super fan of that. We tend to do that a lot. If I go to the next one, insert car is going off to the left-hand side. I really like this spread, this particular mod up here. Great dominant picture. Again, I think super well done. And then we'll take a look at the last one here. I love how winter is going off the edge, just the R a little bit. And And I think this one, just really, really well done. Nice looking book inside. This one here, the more I look at this cover, the more I like it. Still not sure about the yellow tone, but I'm a fan overall, a big fan. What a huge reliance upon font to carry you through the book, though. Yeah, it's got some drop shadowing to it, but there's not much on there except font. Now, the word Panther down here is tilted just a little bit. They did a great job carrying this through the book. So my cover score there was a 9.2. Throughout the book, 9.6. I think you're going to see a different difficulty level when we look at these next couple books. My goodness, look at this. Go ahead and see here. All right, there we go. Look at the difficulty level of this. Let's count the mods. 1 mod, 2 mods, 3 mods, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different pictures with captions, and a lot of love in the headline design up here, obviously coming straight from the cover. Love the color choices. Yeah, this is pretty darn good. Look at the folio down here. Love the folio design. Just really well done. Go to the next one. Again, look at the attention to the headline up here. We are the real deal, and it's about fishing. So cool, so cool. Just a really, really difficult book. There's a lot to get. There's a lot of research. There's a lot of quotes to get. There's a lot of stories to write. There's a lot of captions. You know, this is very difficult. Then take a look at the contrast of this. I absolutely love this. First of all, the photograph, fantastic. Depth of field is incredible. I love the color. I love the cropping of it. I love how they bumped. They could have just as easily taken off this piece of her hair in Photoshop. I kind of love how they bumped the caption around her hair there. Very, very cool. Love the drop shadow behind this. Love the play on handle. Just so well done. Really, really cool. Nice book. Okay, next one. This one is from New York, I believe. Yeah, Williamson North, New York. They actually won a CSPA Silver Crown for this book. It's phenomenal, and I swear it's because of their attention to headlines. It's brilliant. The cover score, I gave them 9.3. I love the yellow treatment that they did. Man, does that pop. I love how they stacked these two. Like the one is right on top of the north. That's definitely something that you can do throughout the book. And I gave them about a 9.6. And again, guys, my score means nothing. It's just so that I can show you a progression of difficulty and actually just, you know, kind of show you what I like to look for. Take a look here. Check out the headline. Roles reversed. The word reversed is reversed. That is high level. That's what you need to do all the time if you can. Like I said, oh, check this out. Dress up to get down. There's the arrow going down, just like we did. It's a lot of times that headline love earns you a lot of points. Man, I love this. Love the environmental portrait over here. I love, like, this so mimics the cover just so well. And I love the simplicity of just 4 answers. This is their homecoming game. It looks like homecoming game spread, and they probably have more than one homecoming spread, I'm sure. But I just think, and I love black and white. The black and white tones here just super rock to me, especially with the yellow. And then just one more to show you. Q&A. Love the purple taken right out of the picture. Boy, that's a definitely colorful picture. Oh, the Think You Can Think. A lot of mod stuff going on here. Nice little mod up here. Just again, well done. I think of the 3 spreads I showed you, this is my least favorite of them. I've seen better ones, and you're going to see a couple more better ones in the next couple books, but still really well done. Okay, this is Marjorie Stoneman Douglas again. I love the 3 colors. I think it reflects the theme. Great job in picking the right theme to vary the cover color. It's simple. Kudos for the whole book link across the bottom. Guys, I don't know if you know what a whole book link is. It's just a reserved space in your book, whether it be all across the top, all across the bottom, all on the left, all on the right, or it can move, where you just have it go from the beginning of the book all the way to the end of the book. It's so difficult, but it is so impactful, and it just really does increase the difficulty level and raises your score like a lot. Take a look here. Look at the whole book link across the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 different quotes on every spread. That took some work, definitely. I love the look of their graphics too. There's something kind of, I don't know, late 70s to it to me. Sort of the vibe I get out of there. I think these two font choices work really, really well together. I love that they picked green as the color for this spread. Possibly, it should come out of the dominant, and it may have come out of the trees, but it could have come out of this picture too. It just works super, super well. Here's another one. Love this. Again, check out that whole book link across the bottom. Super good. The graphics, it has that same feel to it. So I get that cohesiveness. And I really love the dominant picture. Just looking at the shoes. Students participate in events during the week of Halloween. Really, really cool with a really, really nice sidebar over here on the right. Last one. Again, great whole book link. And you guys can see the rest there yourselves. Great mod, same feel. Okay, I'm kind of jealous. And the reason is I have always wanted to do this book. I've always wanted to do the show everybody your editing book. Never did it. If I could have, this would be the one. It's just so well done. And like I said, I'm super jealous. It just fulfills me. So I love like circling things and telling me a little bit more about it, and showing me, where you made edits. I think that's pretty cool. Take a look here. You sort of get that fun, whimsical kind of feel with the graphics. I think that works really cool. Here's a next spread. Love all of this detail of artwork down here. Great picture, love the color. The colors work really, really well together for me, taken right off of her face. And then here's the last one. Love these little arrows. Love the swish behind this guy over here. Again, from a difficulty level, I've seen a little bit more difficult spreads here, but like I said, I'm in love with this book. Okay. Love the classic McKinney blocking. For those of you who don't know, McKinney High School in Texas is known for their yearbook. They are like, back when I started doing yearbooks, they were incredible. It's kind of hard to see, but because of the treatment and the embossing, these lines go this way. The M is embossed up and down. What a subtle way to get your M onto the book. And I'll tell you, McKinney always does blue and gold. They always have an M on their book. This particular theme was endless. 9898, just really, really super well done. They're like, in my opinion, they're the best at color blocking. And you'll see why, I think. Take a look here. Mini Marquettes, love that's invading the picture space. What a great picture. Great mod here, great mod here. Love the strip. Just really, really well done. Look at the colors of this spread. Look at that dominant picture. Look at the framing. Look at the placement of the headline. I mean, they get it. They've always got it. It's beautiful. Their captions are spectacular. Their stories are spectacular. Just a really, really get it kind of school. And then this one will give me a little bit less, same feel to it. I love how they sort of block this bottom and the left side in blue to maybe kind of mimic the cover a little bit. Just super, super well done. Kate, this one reminds me of you. I don't know why, I just love the whimsy of it. I love the artwork. These two fonts belong together. Look at this. This skinny font against this scripty font, and plus they got the nook and cranny perfect. What I refer to a nook and cranny is they took the word note to and fit it perfectly down into this beautiful little space created by the S and the L. Just love this. The artwork rocks, and the whole book link across the bottom. Again, they scored high because they had a whole book link that was incredible, guys. Take a look here. This is their whole book link across the bottom. They put kids with, it's too hard for me to read what it says, but they did get 4 extra kids into the book. I don't know if you can see, but this is dots in the background. Look how they put the artwork around the actual cutout picture with the single line. Love the line on the top, love the font, love that they actually highlighted students' names. Ugh, just love so much about this. Look how they framed these kids. Absolutely beautiful. Love even their mods have that same feel to it. I love this little line right here. And again, to me, it's not too much. There's enough white space on here that I'm not so, I know where to look. My eye goes straight to these 4 kids. You know, I don't think it's too cluttered. I just think it's so well done. Look at the quotes. I love the hand-drawn quotes. Just love it. And then again, just another fantastic example of, you know, what they were going for in this book. Okay, next one. Oh, this is our book. I tell you guys, this is a super strong book, definitely the strongest book that since I've been gone that they've done. Cover score I gave on this a 9.8. I don't know. To me, I think I would have moved this down a little bit. Instead of almost in the middle, this dotted line is almost in the middle, but it's not perfectly in the middle. I kind of call that a near miss. I don't know if you can see it or not, but they have kids' sayings just varnished on the left side on the white. But I think they set themselves up perfectly for inside the book with this. And again, when you see the difficulty level, you'll understand why I had to give them a high score. This is the end sheet. Okay, I just want to show you the implementation. You all saw the cover. All they did was they took the dotted line and a piece from the cover and then just sort of filled in spaces. So the end sheet really, really breathes to me. Love the colorization on this picture. I think it's just well done. Take a look at this. Again, super difficult difficulty level here. Here's the whole book link that they have. I will tell you that the whole book link actually travels. In one section it's on the left, in one section it's on the right, in another section it's across the top. And that takes a lot of planning to make work. But look at the amount of mods. 1 mod, 2 mods, 3 mods, 4 mods, 5 mods, 5 mods, plus a dominant picture, a story, and you know, a group of pictures. I think that's really super strong. I love also that this picture is a circle, sort of, you know, carries the circle theme through. Oh my gosh. What I absolutely love about this spread, it's obviously on tattoos, that to me, it's so organic. I worked with the girl, her name's Alyssa Pileski. Her mom is actually my math department head. She actually wanted to do a spread on tattoos and she wanted to build it from this particular tattoo. This butterfly is on this girl's leg and this story explains that. So she sat down and then I said, let's try tilting it. And I think it just got to be perfect. She put the word ink down here at the bottom, but look how these circles just organically follow the contour of the top of the word ink. Look how this cross comes down into the nook and cranny. Look at the color scheme. I just think it's super, super, super strong. Now, this is my top one, guys. This is Legacy High School from Mansfield, Texas. I wish I had actually seen this book in person. I never did. To me, it looks like there's actually a hole in the cover, maybe with like one of those colored pieces of plastic in it so that you can see through it. That's sort of what it looks like to me. I just love it all. I love the contrast of the skinny font with the block font. I love that they broke the L to put the of the in there. Cover score 9.9. I gave him a 9.95. I just think that this was better than McKinney's book and Kiski's book. Difficulty level off the hook. Take a look. Love the red line through the middle, or the red strip. Love how they did this cutout, just like they did on the cover. Look at the attention to the headlines. Look at this, the emojis used there. Now, this is very, very organized. I tend to like that. But man, this is a difficult spread to do, for sure. Look at their superlatives. Love this. And I love that they gave the opportunity to pick your own superlative. How cool is that? Never saw that before. So I just think that the layout, the design, the white space, the grid work, everything is just beautiful. And look at all those beautiful headlines. Every one of these is a different line. Most likely to become as its own, crazy as its own, dog as its own, lady as its own. That's 5 different lines to create that effect. But it works so, so well. And then the last one, love this too. I love how this is sort of organic to me. I think it all stems from this great picture. I originally thought this was a cutout, but I see it's not. There's a school here, and that's probably just the light sky. Check how the story follows the contour of his back. So well done. I've seen people try to do that. Like, too often, there's not enough words in these lines. And when you try to align it like this, it's just so jaggedy on the right side. This is beautiful. Love the strips to draw your eye into all these mods. Just super, super strong. That's it, folks. I hope you all learned something new. I gave you my email address there for you. Don't forget to join PSPA. It's free this year if you haven't. I think everybody on there has, though. And just let me know if there's anything I can do for you to help you.
All right, thank you so much, Paul. That was great. It
Oh,
was
you're
a
welcome.
really nice way to end our series.
Okay.
Thank you all for obviously being with us throughout all of this. Heidi wanted me to let everybody know that we will send an email to all registrants so they can access the recordings until the end of August on our Vimeo page. So just a heads up, you'll see that email soon. But as always, thank you all so much for, sticking with us at 9 a.m. during summertime. It still blows my mind that you guys are all willing to not just be speakers, but attend. So thank you all.
Does anybody have any questions for me?
We got to talk about journalism camps sometime soon, Paul.
Gotcha, buddy. Can't wait to help you out. Can't wait to help you out.
Thank you for doing this. I really appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. It was fun. I haven't done a presentation for a year. We didn't get to do one at Slippery Rock this year, so I missed this. This was fun for me to put together, so I thank you guys.
This is great. It was really a lot of fun. I mean, I don't know, maybe it's the kid in me, but I love pictures. I love making pictures.
I do too.
So.
Okay, guys, just send me any questions if you have them. I'm always here for you.
All right. Bye, guys. Thank you all
See
so
ya.
much.